just can't stop now. No, trying to find a way out. Hey, feels like they won't let me move, let me breathe, let me leave, just like a maze, like a maze.
Yo, PolyRob, what up?
Yo, welcome to another episode of the PolyRob podcast. I am your host, the Council PolyRob, and it is Capricorn season! I'm sorry I'm excited because, I'm a Capricorn. You already know what it is. If anybody's been following me for the past couple of years or really like my whole life, you would know that during Capricorn season, I fucking fully enjoy myself. I do it. Yes, I do it. First thing is I party every day during Capricorn season. It starts December 21st and it ends January 18th. Every day is some alcohol going on. It's some smoke going on. It's some festivities going on. It's some happiness going on. Every day. The first week of Capricorn season, we was drinking tequila. The second week of Capricorn season, we was drinking rum. This is the third week, and we are on champagne. And the last week will be cognac. So that's our thing. That's our run. Make sure you subscribe. Got to go through this. Make sure you subscribe to my podcast on all platforms. Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud. We are on Spotify. Check it out. We're on Stitcher Radio. We're now on Spreaker. We're on Spreaker Radio, so make sure you check that out as well. I'm trying to get us on iHeartRadio. We're not on there yet. But every platform, you can check us out. You can check out the podcast. Please subscribe and leave comments, man. Leave all the comments because it helps the podcast get bigger and bigger and better and a bigger audience and to bigger platforms. And, of course, y'all want to see me succeed because I want to see y'all succeed as well. Once again, thank you for all the cash apps. I appreciate that. I've been having a couple of people just cash apping me some money saying great podcast. That is that is a wonderful thing when you look at your cash app and you see some money and then the reason for it is great podcast. That shit is amazing. And I appreciate y'all because everybody can use a little bit of anything. And my cash app is $PolyRob. If you don't know, once again, it's $PolyRob. It's just going to help me continue to buy more alcohol, more medicine balls, and just have a good time and talk to y'all about some real fucking shit. You already know it's nighttime right now. And, in the morning time, I drink medicine balls to start the day. And at nighttime, I drink alcohol to do my podcast. So that's what we do. We have a great episode today. It's definitely going to be one of my favorite episodes. Only because, y'all know my horoscope. I'm going to keep saying it billions of times throughout this episode. But I felt like it was necessary for me to do this episode for two reasons. First reason is because me, I'm a man, I'm an older man, not that old, but I'm older, and it's just becoming that time where it's like, yo, what you gonna do about this dating situation? What you gonna do? Like, what's happening? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes some days get more lonely than others. You know what I mean? So I definitely want to do this podcast for that, just to kind of just get good information out, because I know it's a lot of people that's my age that's in the creative world that's feeling that same way too. And secondly, I am a creative, so I feel like other creatives need to hear this because I've been getting a lot of conversations with a lot of different people that's in the industry that I'm in. And, some of the first things that they say is like, you can't mix business with pleasure. You can't have a relationship when you're trying to chase your dream. It's impossible for you to mix being in a relationship, with, sorry, I dropped the top of my Guinness. They say it's impossible for you to be in a relationship, and a faithful relationship, and still, be successful in the industry. And then, when you look at, social media and you look at TV, you just see so many different terrible situations of relationships that's happening. And I just wanted to kind of shed some light on dating a creative. So that's what this topic is about. It's about dating a creative, whether you're actual creative or whether you're not a creative, but you are dating somebody in the industry that's creative, that's doing a thing. So I wanted to kind of shed a little light on that because I feel like it's necessary. Everybody always gets the normal people version, the normal people side, like the 9-to-5 workers. They always get their version of how dating the creative is, and y'all know what I mean. No one never really gets the true and living answers in nature from an actual creative that's trying to, I consider myself trying to have a long-term relationship or trying to eventually be married with a family, and just live happily ever after like anybody else would. So I definitely want to do the podcast for those two reasons. And it's Capricorn season. So what better way than to do this episode and me being a Capricorn, and let's talk about a little bit of shit that I like or I don't like. You know what I mean? So what better way to kick this whole thing off? You know what I mean? And I appreciate y'all rocking with me. And we're actually going to do a lot more of these Dating the Creative episodes every single horoscope season. So I'm going to do one for Aquarius. I'm going to do one for Pisces, Taurus, and all the way down the line. So it's going to be fun. So let's get into it. Dating a creative, the Capricorn edition. My birthday is in 2 days, January 9th. So gifts is all welcome. But first and foremost, I want to talk about being a creative first, because there's certain things to look for when you're dating a creative, and it's slightly different than a normal person. You know what I'm saying? Let me explain. For me, I'm in entertainment. I'm a producer. I'm an engineer. So a lot of my day goes towards trying to figure things out, trying to figure out how to get to the next step, trying to figure out how to support myself using my profession, trying to figure out how to be able to, live righteously, but also live within my means. You know what I mean? It's a lot of elements to that. And for me, dating comes in a form of trying to find comfort, throughout whatever you're doing. I take dating as a comfort zone for, whatever's going on. Some people take dating for excitement. Some people take dating for companionship, of course, which is one of the very few. Some people take dating as a status quo, to be able to move, wherever you move to, especially in entertainment. Like you see the Kim Kardashians and, Kanye West's, then you see the Jay and Beyonce. Not saying that they did it for that reason, but you can understand why someone would date another person for a particular status quo to be able to get on top. You know what I'm saying? It happens. You know what I mean? So people date for a lot of reasons. Me particularly, I date for comfort. Reason being is because that is one thing that is very hard to come by when you're creative, when you're entertainment. And majority of my workload is based off of if I'm comfortable enough to continue on and do what I do. I'm a producer, so I can't make records frustrated. I can only make it having some type of a level head. And when I say frustrated, not frustrated as in, of course I can be mad. Of course I can be, have a lot of energy. But when it comes to trying to create records, when something in your dating relationship or someone who sees you every day, you guys are not eye to eye, it's a difficult thing. It's a difficult thing. It's hard to be able to, work on a hit record if your companion or your mate at the time is not seeing eye to eye. So for me, just the first thing I look for ultimate comfort, when I'm dating somebody, because that's the form, that's the nature, and that's the avenue that I'm able to bring everything down. You know what I mean? Because, some days it's just a bunch of people in the studio turning up, going up, smoking, drinking, doing whatever. And me, especially as an engineer, sometimes I don't be wanting to be with all that shit. I don't like it all the time. Sometimes it's cool, sometimes it's not. Sometimes I'm not into it. So I look for, when I go home or when I'm deciding to lay my head down, I'm looking for someone who can fill that void of comfort, because my day-to-day 9 times out of 10 is so rambunctious. You know what I mean? Other things to look for, ambition. You know what I mean? Ambition is a big part of my idea of someone that I would want to be with, and someone that I feel like would want to be with me is your ambition. You know what I'm saying? The average person in the world may not be as ambitious as you think. And especially for a creative, like, you have to understand, like, dealing with a creative, ambition is everything. It's everything to them, and it should be, in a sense, to you, because their ambition it kind of explains where they would go to get things right. And I know a lot of people confuse that with what you would do to try to get on. Like, no, for the right people and the right reasons. It's the things that you would go through to make things right with yourself, with your family, with everybody that's around you. Ambition for me is a very big thing, because it takes a lot of energy, and it takes a lot of hours in order to do the shit that we do. And we can't, I'm just speaking for me personally, but we'll get to everybody else. But me, I can't see anybody next to me not being as ambitious as me. You ain't got to be all the way, but you got to be somewhat. You can't stand next to me and just sit there and just twiddle your thumbs and wait for me to spoil you, or wait for me to entertain you. No, you gotta be on your shit too, because ambition is sexy to me. You know what I'm saying? So we'll get to that a little bit later on. Other things to look for, time management, for better or for worse, because, when you're dealing with a creative, looking at different things can tell you a lot about that person. Everything is not about right or wrong. It's just about being able to watch something and see if they're good at that or not. Because, like one of my mentors told me, he was telling me, like, the concept of a genius is someone who does something so well and excellent, and they're very great at it, but there are other elements about them that they lack. And I think that that's what a lot of creatives are. Einstein was fucking a genius at math and science. Social skills were terrible. You know what I mean? Someone like the Michael Jordans of the world, you know what I mean? Where they're great at basketball, terrible at gambling, terrible at social, everything else. You know what I mean? So there's certain elements that, they're great at, and there's certain things that they're terrible at, which brings me to the last element and thing to look for in a creative is, where do they fit you in? Think about that. I'm going to say it again after I sip my Guinness. Where do they fit you in their life? It's a very big thing. They're chasing a dream. They're trying to figure out where to go and how to get there. And sometimes it's without guidance, because the people that surround them have never been on the path that they're going before. So a lot of times it's without guidance. And along with that, not only do they have to find out where they want to go, they also have to find out where to place people in that journey. So that's one thing you got to look for. Where is this creative placing you in their day-to-day, in their worldly aura? Is it an everyday thing? Is it a every week thing? Is it a every month thing? Like you got to figure that whole thing out. Got to figure that whole thing out, and not just figure out what that is, but figure out why that is. Figure out why that is. Why are they putting you every week? Or why do you see them every day? Or, why do you guys spend so much time, together at this point? And then why do you spend so less time at that point? It's about finding the reason for it. And it's not rocket science. Just like every relationship, if you just sit back and watch, you'll figure out the answer. The answer will be right there in front of you. If you just sit back for a little bit and just watch and observe, me as, being a Capricorn, I just want to talk a little bit about the certain characteristics that I feel like I have that benefit the dating structure. Let's talk about that, because it's definitely some bad ones that we're going to get to that for sure. So let's talk about the good characteristics that I feel like I have to add towards the dating structure. Number one, I'm very, very caring to a point of being highly emotional. And one of the things, since we're talking about my characteristics of me caring about people, one of the things that I think about and I always try to put forward is you get what you put in. You know what I mean? Like, for me, the respect and the love that I put out, I can honestly say that I get that in return. Sometimes I get it even more than what I put out, which is a good thing on my side for the most part. But I'm a type of person where it's like, whether it's, relationship love, friendship love, just being a great companion for the right reasons, I'm all about being able to give out the proper energy, because I feel like that's where a great relationship starts from. A great relationship starts from giving out the right type of energy and the right type of feeling to be able to eventually, hopefully, carry on into another phase. And I'm okay with that. I very, very seldomly indulge in arguments, because that's just not how I get down. Because that's not the right energy placement that I want. It's the reason why I don't do that. You know what I mean? So first one is definitely, caring about people. Secondly is kind of like a gift and a curse. And this is for all Capricorns. Let me speak for all Capricorns. This is definitely a gift and a curse. We are dreamers. Let me say it again. Capricorn men and women, we are dreamers. We dream. We believe that our life is some type of dream that we can manipulate how we want. Let me break that down. For every person that I come across that speaks in a realistic term, I'm the other side of that. For someone who says that can't happen, I'm the one that says, I already did it in my mind already. It's already done. Y'all just gotta wait to see it in the physical. I already did it. I already figured out how to do it. But eventually y'all see what it really is in the physical. Being a dreamer is a gift and a curse dependent on who's around you. Let me say it again. Being a dreamer is a gift and a curse dependent on who's around you. There's some people that's scared of their own reality, that try to dream to get away from it. Capricorns is a little bit different because we're not afraid of anything. And we embrace the common concept of doing something amazing, because that's what dreams are to us. Dreams are amazing things that we feel like we can still be tangible to. When I dream about being on VH1, being on the Smithsonian, talking about how did I discover this new invention that niggas ain't thought about. I have a dream about chopping it up and talking to RZA and calling them an ugly ass nigga, and we gonna make some new beats. I dream about having 8, 9 kids in a big ass, crazy ass house and getting jumped by my kids because they older than me now. I dream about stuff that I know that's going to eventually happen. And Capricorns are the ones that believe that there's more than one way to fly. In our dreams, when we fly, we may be flying physically. But in reality, it's probably a different way to fly, but it's all relative to us. So let me break that down in relationships. In a relationship, a Capricorn feels like you can create the fantasy world of what you would want your relationship to ever be like. We feel like we can create that in real life. It's reality. We don't believe in having the dopest, illest bitch when we go to sleep, and then when we wake up, we gotta argue with the most obnoxious, craziest bitch on planet Earth. We don't believe in that. That's not what we about. If our dreams of having the greatest woman is a fantasy, when we wake up, we try and get that. We trying to get that. We want that. And we gonna work hard enough to obtain that. I know I am. I'm not finna be the one that's married for 20 years, and when they ask me how marriage is, I'm gonna be like, it's cool, but you shouldn't do it, fam. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Everything that I want out of a relationship, I'm getting. Y'all can call me crazy all you want. I'm getting it. I'm getting it. And let me tell you why I'm getting it. Because the things that I want and the things that I feel like is required in a relationship with me are also things that my mate is going to benefit from. You're going to benefit from that. Me not wanting to argue on a constant basis has nothing to do with me wanting to be right. I didn't say I wanted to be right. I could be wrong all fucking day. As long as we figure out how to fix it and we get back to being happy, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Capricorns don't want to argue. We don't want to argue. And I can promise you this, 9 times out of 10, we're going to be wrong. We're going to be wrong. Let me explain why. It's not that we're wrong because we don't have the right answer. It's because we're wrong because we're so passionate about what we say and what we mean that you're not going to be able to accept that. You're not going to be able to accept that. So by default, we're fucked up and we're wrong for that matter. But it's okay. It's okay. Because we believe in when it's all said and done, everything will be all right. Everything will be all right. I can honestly say that I've gotten into more arguments about me being quote unquote nonchalant and me quote unquote not caring more than I've been in arguments because I overreacted. Because guess what? Capricorns we don't do the whole jealousy, overreaction. We don't do none of that. We see what it is. We say, okay, I see what that is. And then we move on if we need to. If we need to address it, we address it. If it's not fixed, we move on. We move on. That is a gift and a curse. We're dreamers. The last characteristic that I feel like is something that's beneficial to my dating process and Capricorn's dating process. And I could be wrong. Don't get me wrong. I could be wrong. But this is what I feel like is a great thing. Although we have a very strong thought process of how things should go, we're team players. We're team players. And we understand that we can try to do everything, but it needs another touch. We understand that. We're team players. Anytime you see a team winning, 9 times out of 10, it's Capricorn right in the middle of it. Because we understand vision. And vision is not just one person. Vision is the entire entity. It is the entire embodiment of whatever that thing is. And we understand that. And we're willing to play the soldier or the boss. We can either be the Indian or the chief. No matter what. We can play both sides because we know and we understand that all levels of being a team is important. This goes for Capricorn men and women. They know that these are certain elements that can benefit no matter what. We don't never think in a relationship, or we don't think of anything as a win or a loss. When you're dealing with a team, it's never a win or a loss. It's always a win or a lesson. It's always a win or a lesson. It's never a loss. You learn to get better. I sure do. Especially when I'm in a relationship or I'm dating, I'm dealing with, one woman for 2 months and another woman for 3 months and another woman for 2 years. All of that stuff, if it's not a win, if you don't see me shaking the wedding bells or I'm live happily ever after, it's just a lesson. It's a lesson for me to be able to get to the one that I do want and for me to shake those wedding bells. That's what it is. We heavily dedicated. We dedicated. The things that are my downfall is also my strength. We're heavily dedicated. So when you get a creative, let's get back to the creative shit. When you get a creative that's a Capricorn that's in the industry, he going for his shit. He going for his. She going for hers. All the way through. And there's nothing you can do that could stop them. You can ride along with them and you can be a companion with them and walk through those doors of success, but you're not going to stop it. You're not going to stop it. At one point in time, I almost gave up my entire career for a relationship. I can honestly say that. It almost happened. But it didn't happen. So I'm here right now doing what I'm doing. It didn't happen. Sorry. I couldn't do it. And it wasn't just me. God let me know what it was. You are on the path to doing something great. Stay on it, stay on it, stay on it. That's what it is. One of the best things about dating a creative is you start to understand what vision really is and what it looks like. No disrespect to anybody that's not a creative, that's working a 9-to-5 or that has a great job. No disrespect to y'all at all. But it's something special when you're dealing with a painter and he's just painting away on his canvas. It's something different when you got a pianist that's sitting back behind the keys composing something great out the top of his head. It's something amazing about a director that sits down for hours and tries to write a script, something that someone can enjoy for an hour, for an hour and a half, for 2 hours, or for a series. You know, it's something about a dancer who sits down and tries to choreograph something that people can enjoy while watching and groove into the music. These are things that, do you realize that these people are coming up with this stuff out the top of their head? Do you realize that a battle rapper has to come up with something witty every battle from the top of his head? And that's how he gets paid. Do you understand that there are people on Venice Beach that has their guitar out, that has their bongos, their drums, that are performing for hundreds and thousands of people every day just to support what it is that they're trying to support, their family, trying to pay for their rent, pay for their car. These are the same people who travel from New York to Miami, from England to Australia, from Japan to LA to chase the one thing that they can do great in their lives, to support them and their family. These are not just people who just woke up one day and say, I don't want to work for nobody, so I'm just going to do whatever it is I want to do. These are people who yearn for this passion to do what they do best. Floyd Mayweather probably don't know nothing else but boxing. He don't know nothing else but boxing. Probably Manny Pacquiao, same thing. Mozart probably didn't know nothing but play the piano. Would just play the piano. These are the type of people that you're dating. That's what this episode is about. It's about these type of people that you're dating. Yes, a lot of them are one-track minded. A lot of them have one set goal is going forward. A lot of them sometimes feel, depending on how the relationship is going, you can either be helpful to the relationship in them, or you can be hurtful to the relationship in them. Sometimes it's one and the same. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You ever been in a relationship and everything that you try to say or ideas that you try to come up with, all of a sudden you got this one person that sleeps with you every night, shooting down your dreams, shooting it down every time. This is not somebody off the street. This is not somebody at your workplace. This is not somebody who may come around every holidays. This is the same person that you give your sexual energy to. Your energy, period. This is the same person you hold every night, shooting your dreams down. I want everybody to hear this. I want y'all to understand what that does to a creative. The reason why I want y'all to understand that is because I hear a lot of the I wasted my time dating this rapper. Or I wasted my time dating this model. Or I wasted my time dating this actor. How did you waste your time? You're watching somebody in real time try to make something of themselves. That is the most sexiest thing to me. That is the most sexiest thing to me. Is the ambition to get out and do what nobody else is doing and chasing that. It's a beautiful thing. And we don't just chase the money. We chase the idea of waking up in the morning and doing what you love. I thought everybody wanted that. I thought everybody wanted to enjoy something like that. I would think that you would want to wake up in the morning and do what you love to do. Don't you? Dating a creative, Capricorn edition. Some of the flaws, let's get to that. Let's definitely get to that before I get up out of here. Let's talk about these flaws, because this shit is real. I can speak about the flaws on my part. And then I'm going to speak about some of the elements that a Capricorn woman looks for. We'll get to that in a second. Some of the flaws that I have. I'm very tunnel vision. I have a bad case of amazing tunnel vision. I'm going to say amazing because it gets me in places, in better places than it gets me in bad places. But I do have tunnel vision. So there'll be days that we seen each other every day. And then it's just time will go by. 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. It's because I'm trying to create some amazing shit. And my tunnel vision blocks out a lot of shit. So 9 times out of 10, it's going to be somebody that I'm dating sometimes to be blocked out. And it sucks. I know it fucking sucks. But I'm here to say, for anybody I've ever dated, it definitely wasn't you or the thought of wherever we was going. I was just in my fucking bag and I was doing some amazing music, amazing records, or whatever I was doing something and I was in the zone. And yes, it took days. Yes, it took days. Sometimes it took weeks. But my accomplishments is real because if I don't work, I don't eat. That is a fact. That is a fact. If y'all don't work 1 or 2 days, y'all niggas can still do what y'all do and get a check in 2 weeks. Not me. If I don't work 2 or 3 days, I don't get no money. So as apologetic as I am about not being able to bond with you and chill with you in those days, I try to make it my duty to, when we see each other again, I try to make it up. I try to make it up the best way possible because I don't want no problems. And I'm definitely excited to see you. So I'm going to try to make it up the best way possible. But yeah, my tunnel vision fucks up a lot of things. My mom calls me pissed sometimes. It's like, boy, if you don't call your mama, I'm like, Mom, sorry. She like, no. You do this all the time. Even though it's a couple times, she be like, you do this all the time. My dad'll call me. Hey, you alive? Daddy, I'm good. All right, I'm just checking, making sure you alive. It's real. My tunnel vision is real. But for creatives, I just say this, ladies and gentlemen. If you're dating a creative and they get tunnel vision, you know what that is. It's the difference between trying to avoid you and tunnel vision. If they get tunnel vision because they on a road or they doing what they doing or they in their bag or whatever, just try not to get too mad at them. The way I see it is, see what they do on their response. Not response as in they called you back and let's see what he say. I'm talking about response as in when you meet back up with him or her, see how the energy is. Is the energy back to how it was? Or is it lacking? Or does it look like something's going on? Don't just assume it because the time has been apart, so now you assume. Just wait for a minute and feel it out. Man, I believe in women's intuition as much as y'all do, women. So why don't you feel this whole shit out the right way? Men, same thing. If you dating a model or you dating an actress, you dating one that's got to read scripts and put shit together and do an audition, accept the fact that no, she's not going to pick up the phone for a couple days or a couple hours or whatever. Let her get her shit off. Don't be thinking all the extra shit. Oh, she fucking with other niggas. Nah, man, she in her bag. She is trying to get a role that's going to pay her $6.7 million to perform. Nigga, chill out. Am I right or wrong? Chill out. She's trying to do something amazing. Same thing for the men. Man, this man is trying to create this record and do his thing. Chill out. Because if that record hit Billboard and go platinum, guess what you're going to be? You're going to be at the red carpet right with that man. Everybody going to be looking at you like, who is this bitch at the red carpet with the number one rapper in the world? Let's look at her profile. Look at her Instagram. And before you know it, you got a reality show. I'm just saying. Dating a creative is real. It's a real thing. I'm not saying it's a great thing, but it's a real thing. So I had the privilege just before this podcast to talk to one of my cousins. I gotta say her name. Sorry, Orlena, I love you. I know you back there taking care of the baby. I know you finna listen to this podcast. Orlena, I love you. You hold it down. That is my first cousin. Her birthday is, I'm not gonna tell you the year, but I'll tell you her birth date. Her birthday is January 1st. January 1st. She is a New Year's baby. So she got all the scoop on this real Capricorn shit, man. She's a creative and she does her fucking thing. So I talked to her about, I was like, yo, I mean, I can only assume, certain things about a woman Capricorn and what they might like, because it's similar to a man as well. But she really had to go in detail and was like, no, let's just get this out the way. So this is from my cousin Orlena. First thing she said, her mate has to have vision. That's very impressive to a Capricorn woman, is having a vision. Having a vision does not necessarily mean that you have to be there already, nor do you have to have everything put together. You just have to have vision and ambition to want and go get what you want. That is a very impressive thing for a Capricorn woman. So if you're dating a creative and she's a Capricorn, have your vision together. And I can speak for the men. Having a vision is very, very sexy for a woman to have if you're dating a Capricorn man. Having a vision is real because that means that you tap into our ideology of being a dreamer. You tap into that. And when you tap into that, it's a beautiful thing. Because we dreamers, man. We love this shit. Number 2, although it's not a big thing, but a Capricorn woman who has her shit together automatically is going to have a level of high standards because she can get it herself. If you're talking in context of money, because she can get money herself, she has high standards in terms of how you go out there and get your money. You need to be able to get that. It ain't got to be as much as her. It ain't got to be more than her. It ain't got to be less than her. You just need to have that willpower to go out there and get it, because they feel like the side-by-side action, like that Bonnie and Clyde shit for real with the money, it's real. So she's going to place herself on high standards because you know how it is. The more you grow, the bigger your bracket is, the higher your bracket goes. So you cutting off niggas that can't compete. Cutting off niggas that can't compete off the rip. Just get that out the way. So for Capricorn women, when they start doing their thing and they standards is getting high, they cutting off brackets of niggas. Because that's how you get to the number one nigga. You got to cut off brackets of niggas. I respect that. I respect that. Let me take my sip and I'll get to number 3. Now, number 3, I wish you would have never told me this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I wish you would have never told me this, because now I'm finna pull my shotgun out and I'm looking for any nigga that's close to her. She said she's conservative. Capricorn women are conservative, you know, around the people, around the family or whatever. But when she finds that one person that she's really down for, it's like a whole little, it's Freaknik going on. It's all type of extra shit, all type of experimental shit. It's all type of shit going on when she's comfortable. But it takes for that one person to get her to that point, to even be that. So you got some time. You know what I'm saying? For Capricorn women, they're conservative on the outside, but when they find that one and they get alone with that one that they own, it's finna get real. It's finna get all the way real. And I feel you. For Capricorn men, it's kind of the same thing. Kind of the same thing. You know what I'm saying? A little bit. I don't know. We'll figure that out. Next one, spending time is very important. Spending time is essential and almost the deal breaker with a Capricorn woman. You know what I'm saying? It's a deal breaker, you know what I mean? And they with that. And it's about spending time for the right reasons. Not spending time because you guys came up missing for 3 days and then now it's like spending time. It's like, nah. Spending time also includes being heavily communicative. Because even if we don't see each other all the time, communicating, you know, talking, figuring out what's going on. Even if you say, hey, babe, I'm not going to be able to talk to you tomorrow. It's about communication, a heavy thing. You know what I'm saying? So Capricorn women are very big on communication, and the right type of communication is key. It's always the right type. You can never explain what the right type is because every woman is different. So whatever woman you're dealing with, if you're dating a creative that's a Capricorn woman, please make sure you find the right communication level that you guys are at and keep it right there, because the moment you switch up is the moment she switch up, for sure. You know what I mean? For men, communication is big for me. It's big for me in big moments. You know, I'm not a person that calls every day, but the right communication of understanding that I don't call every day and we come to some type of playing field to where we're both happy at the communication that we're at, then I'm okay with that and we good and we can move forward and we can get to it. And, you know, that's pretty much it. And, you know, of course, setting the bar high, like, you know, Capricorn men and women, we set the bar high on whatever it is that we do. So the person that's with us got to be able to set the bar high as well. It doesn't have to be the same things that we're on, but you have to set the bar high on something. Because we about doing some amazing shit, and let's do some amazing shit together, because that's the best way to do it. You know, for Capricorn men and women, you know, our mate and our companion is someone who's probably there more than anybody else in the world, even at the state of dating. You understand? Even at the state of dating, they end up being the person that's around us more than anybody else in our lives, because we are heavily off of comfort. We love comfort, and we feel like comfort is the best thing you can ever obtain from anybody in any relationship. It's comfort. You know what I'm saying? And, I feel like that's definitely a big thing for me, especially me out here, doing what I'm doing in this industry, man. Comfort is a big thing, man. And I see a lot of people that are lost without it. I see a lot of people that go home and they don't have no comfort, and they don't feel at ease. You know what I'm saying? And it's very important to make those that you love feel at ease. You know what I'm saying? So, in a nutshell, I would just say, man, like, all these relationships is all up in the air. The best thing that I would say is, you gotta just bring good energy, and hopefully that good energy comes back. I know y'all tired of it too, but I'm tired of hearing all the fuck boys and all the dumbass bitches and niggas ain't shit, bitches ain't shit. I don't believe none of that. I believe that we all need to have a better interest in who we pick, if that makes any sense. I think we need to focus really on who we pick to come into our lives and to come bring us whatever energy they decide to bring us. I think we're obligated to find the right person and, to bring us that, whether it's a relationship or not. Like, I'm practicing for the new year. I'm practicing, bringing more good energy into my life, whether it's from a friend, whether it's from somebody I'm dating, whether it's even from an old friend. Old friends bring you a lot of negative energy, so you got to watch out for that. You know what I'm saying? I love you. I love you as a friend, and you great. But if your energy ain't right, don't pull up. Don't pull up the local astronauts. If your energy not right, don't pull up. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not with the argument and none of that. I just want to see everybody do well. I want to see everybody be positive. I want to see everybody just love life, man, and just do something ill, because I really believe that in everybody's life, there is somebody for you, and there's somebody that's sitting there waiting to come and fucking love on you and just want to be with you forever and ever. And however it takes for them to get to you, man, like just leave the door open. Leave the door open a little bit so they can get to you. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's important, And this concludes my episode. I hope you guys got something from it. I hope you guys hopefully can learn from it, hopefully can expand. And man, in my creative group and in my comments and everywhere, man, drop y'all comments and tell me how y'all feel about it, and what other things that I'm missing that I need to add to my arsenal to be able to have the number one person that I want in my life forever and ever. You know what I mean? Like, definitely tune in with me. I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. This is the PolyRob podcast, and make sure y'all subscribe on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, Spreaker, Google Play Music, and leave the comments, man, and I appreciate it, and we're going to keep this shit moving, man. I'm feeling good. It's Capricorn season, so y'all might get a lot of other podcasts from me, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to keep this shit rocking, and my birthday is coming up, so y'all need to celebrate with me. We going to fuck up, man. Guinness and cognac and champagne. That's what we do. PolyRob Podcast. I'm out.